think the biggest key to success is the foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation for your business on the marketing side, on the business side, unfortunately, there's only so far you can go. You're going to be running in circles and here and here and here.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome to Behind the Perfect Startup podcast, and thank you for taking out the time to sit and chat with us. I'm delighted to have you over, and I'm sure the listeners are excited too. So,
Thank you
Rachel,
so much for having me. I'm so grateful.
yeah, so am I. Rachel, why don't you go ahead and give a brief introduction about yourself and Rockstar in Moon?
Sure. I'm Rachel Minion, founder and head rockstar at Rockstar and Moon. We are the small business champion that do rockstar marketing that most businesses that are small would never have the opportunity to do. My husband and I worked at large corporations and learned from the biggest, the best, the brightest, and noticed all the resources that these large companies had. And that's what we bring now: sizable, scalable, easy to implement technology strategies to small businesses to help them grow.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Rachel. So you're basically bringing out all of the, strategies that are used by these big firms available to the small businesses out there, which is amazing. So, Rachel, how is the new year treating you? Are you off to a kickstart?
We are rocking this new year. I got to tell you, it is amazing. We're really looking forward to 2022 because of a few different things. First, we have Biz Bootcamp, where we're helping people start their own businesses because everybody needs a side hustle, whether you have a full-time job that you love or not. It's the way to grow your skill set. It's the way to stay diverse. It's the way that you can make an impact and really be able to develop yourself, grow yourself. And if the worst case scenario is we have a pandemic, you get furloughed, you can spin that up to a full-time gig in no time. We
That's
also,
yeah.
yeah, so that's incredible. And then we're also helping businesses. We have a growth amplifier, which is a 90-day session where we're helping implement strategy and marketing foundation and the fundamentals into your business to help you not only get that basis on what do we do, how do we do it, who's even our ideal client, but then how do we scale that so you can grow your business? Because if you don't know who that ideal customer is and you haven't documented the strategy and you aren't sure because you aren't measuring what you're doing, there's no way you can scale that, repeat it, and make a predictable business.
That's very well put. And it's amazing how you're helping others start their own businesses. I think that's incredible. And so, Rachel, you help businesses achieve 500% increase in conversion and 200% increase in sales, which is mind blowing. So, how do you go about working this magic?
We start at the beginning, and it sounds very simple, but most businesses don't have a plan. They aren't 100% sure who they're targeting. They don't know if it's actually resonating and working. And rather than think about the foundation and putting that in place, it's like, oh, I just need another tactic. Oh, I just need social media. I just need to get on TikTok. This is going to solve everything if I have an email campaign or a printed ad. And it doesn't. So we recommend starting at those foundational level pieces. So that way, number one, you know who you're targeting. Number two, you know what they want. And we do a little bit of conversation. Is this your ideal client? And are they buying? Because you can make the most incredible product in the world. But if you don't know who you're making it for and you don't know how to connect with them, it's not going to sell.
That's right. And I'm so happy you're living your childhood dream of becoming a rock star, literally, and making a difference. So, Rachel, would
It's
you?
amazing.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
It's absolutely amazing. The pandemic has given us this opportunity to really be able to dig in and be able to do this on our own and be able to help all the small businesses and startups that we can grow so that they can become those larger size businesses. working for corporate has always been something that we did. It was how we paid the bills. It was how we, lived our lives. But switching to being able to dedicate our lives where we are helping people every day and can notice that huge impact. We had a client of ours who, for years and years, for 5 years, I've been begging him, let's do a lead magnet. Tell me your ideal client. I will do a lead magnet. We will get you the ideal client. He named one client. We wrote a book. We got it out there. And within 24 hours, the ideal client's calling him.
Wow.
That tripled his business.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You really are a magician when it comes to marketing. So, Rachel, would you like to share some common mistake people make that which, sorry, would you like to share some common mistakes people make that deprives them of success in terms of conversion and sales?
Yes. I think the biggest issue is shiny object syndrome, and we all have it. There's a brand new social media platform, so we have to be on it. We have to be on it. Now we're all producing content. We're thinking about it. What are we doing? How are we doing it? And then you don't see results because there isn't really much that you're measuring, and you've neglected everything else that you were doing that was getting results. So unfortunately, we're now paying attention to the shiny object rather than optimize what we had going. And if we're going from object to object to object, so TikTok, and then let's say there's going to be a new platform, but then wait, we want to be on WhatsApp, but wait, we want to be here. Unfortunately, it's going to be unfocused. It is going to crush your conversions, and it's going to crush you mentally, because how do you come out of that? You're going to be so burnt out jumping from thing to thing to thing.
That's right. That's right. And I think you made a good point here that all that shines is not really going to be helpful to your business. And also, I have to point this out, Rachel. You've got your hands full, and it's admirable. You're contributing as a marketing strategist at Meeting in Session. You are co-founder and CMO at different organizations. So, I mean, what are you, a superhuman?
I believe that I want to wake up every day and change the world in some way, shape, or form. And if I can get up and run a marketing agency and get my clients results, I run a nonprofit and get my clients results. Have my hands in several other businesses where I'm helping them get results. That is so much more rewarding than anything else we could be doing.
That's right. So you have a different passion for your work, which is mind blowing, which is amazing. And Rachel, what would you say as a little girl? What did you want it to be when you grew up? And I see you have a degree in psychology, which is interesting. How did you finally found growth in marketing?
Well, I grew up, and this is going to date me. I grew up when MTV was just starting. One of my cousins helped to start MTV, and I fell in love. Absolutely, utterly fell in love with the platform. My parents would always make me turn it off, but that's what I loved. I loved being able to see these smaller artists get that bigger stage, being able to see how these you can grow based off of magazine articles and the machine behind that really spins up a band. When Guns N' Roses came out, I was homesick with the chicken pox. And my mom bought every magazine that was out there, and they were all Guns N' Roses. She brought me 30 magazines. They all had Guns N' Roses on the front cover. Tiger Beat, Teen whatever, all of the old ones. And she got me a Rolling Stone. But this was years ago, and watching that, I always wanted to be a rock star. I have no musical talent at all, but I know that music is my passion. So growing up in this space, it's been really exciting. And when I went to college, I started at the University of South Carolina, and they were having some glitches in their online registration. So I signed up for Introduction to Worldwide Business. I get to class, and it's Intro to Psychology, taught by the top forensic psychologist in South Carolina. And wasn't the right class, but sitting through an hour of what he had to say, I was I was sucked in. That was it. I knew that there was some connection here. It was the most interesting thing I'd ever heard. And he didn't use the book. He just talked about what he was working on a daily basis, which was so interesting. So I got through college, and afterwards, I always knew that there was something fun about marketing, some way that you can transform a brand or a company. And, you see that M for McDonald's, it's McDonald's. You can almost smell the fries. And I started in printing, seeing how you can actually tangibly create something that you can put into somebody's hands that they can get a reaction to. And grew that to online, grew that to social when that came out, grew that to email marketing and other areas where in the end, psychology is the basis. How do people think? We're all human. We have to relate to humans. So if I give you too technical of hey, this software is this, and this, and this, and it can't relate to you, you'll never buy.
Right.
And I think that's the basis for everything.
That's right. And sometimes life has different plans for you, and you don't have to find that. It finds you like you did in psychology, which is amazing. And apart from work, Rachel, you have initiated tremendous steps to support all kinds of warriors in the community. Beyond Basic Needs has to be one of the best initiatives you'll come across. Would you like to share something about it with the audience?
I would love to. Thank you. I started Beyond Basic Needs with my husband because once you are diagnosed with a medical condition or you have a medical event, the last thing that you can think about are your basic needs. I was diagnosed with cancer 7 years ago, and I had just moved to a new town. I knew absolutely nobody. I had 3 dogs that needed to be walked, and they told me I had cancer. And what do you do? My parents wanted to send in cleaning services, groceries, get us some food from restaurants. I hadn't even explored the town. I had no idea what to do, where to go, getting in a dog walker. It was all too hard. How do you get the laundry done when you're going through planning cancer treatments and surgeries? You can't. So we have created this foundation, this nonprofit, and what we do is we are helping cancer warriors who are undergoing chemotherapy, and we're supporting them. There's a technology that they can utilize so that all of these things can be planned. It can project manage every single part of this journey. So if they need transportation, if they need groceries, if they need childcare, whatever that is, it can all be scheduled in. There's questions that you can ask because we partnered with Giving Kind. We also are raising money so that we can provide free chemo care kits, which include a port pillow. And the port pillow is important because when you have chemotherapy, you typically have a port right about here, right by your shoulder. And that's where the seatbelt goes. And it's so uncomfortable. It hurts. The port is uncomfortable regardless. But with a seatbelt over it, there's nothing that you can do. So that's where we have a partner who's created this, and this is what we're doing and how we're helping. And this, our first year of raising money, we've been able to support over 200 chemo warriors.
That is amazing. That is beyond amazing, Rachel. And you are one of the strongest women I know. And, fighting cancer is one thing, and coming out of it and helping others fight is like a whole other level. And especially paying attention to such minute details and coming up with a product to help the patients, that's brilliant. And we have to get this word out. We have to have more to know about this. All right. So, Rachel, apart from this, what marketing advice would you give to small business owners for a year full of growth and green?
I would say you can't do it all. And be realistic on what can you do? How can you do it? Now, if you are a typical small business owner or a startup and you're trying to be here and there and here and there, that means your attention isn't focused on growth. You're doing all the things to keep the machine moving. So you need a partner who can help you grow. And it isn't who can help you grow, it's someone who can strategize with you, plan with you. How do we get from A to B? What does B look like? We know you want to grow 500% this year. Okay. what steps do we actually need to take and break it down into small, achievable goals? Because as a business owner, I know I am caught up in the, oh my God, I need to get this kind of sale. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. How do we get it all done in the same 24 hours that everybody has in a day? And that's where having a partner who can help you break that down, put that into place, and that you trust to go just run it and say, okay, I need the 10 emails to go out to my audience this month because that's part of the plan. Just go do it. I'll review them. You send them, you handle it. Great. It's one thing off their plate so they can get back to what they do best, and that's running their business.
That's some great advice. And it's always better to have two brains working on a project than having, one brain. So thank you for that, Rachel. And you must already know marketing trends are constantly evolving and you learn something new every once in a while. So what do you think is going to be different this year?
I think what's interesting is people are going back to the office, but back to the office is different. So we're all thinking about different protocols, different ways of life, how we're going to do things. And there are so many things that are top of mind that marketing and advertising is not one. And I say this because previously, if you wanted to hit a big market, you would buy a billboard in Chicago where everybody is stuck in traffic and seeing your billboard for hours at a time. I know to go from A to B, we would go about 5 miles to work. It would take 45 minutes. So we would see all of those big billboards. And the way people are coming back in and the way that we actually interact with them and impact them from the marketing side is very different. I think that there needs to be a very different type of empathy, a different type of connection that we're trying to reach. Sure, you get 17 million emails in a day, you get 100,000 Facebook ads. I don't know what we trust, how we trust, who we trust. And in the end, I think it really comes back to social proof. It isn't that I'm going to see a billboard and say, oh, I need to go to that lawyer. It's that I know somebody who went there. I've asked for references and ideas because we know that everything that's online is also selling. We know that we also then need to hit them with the right ads at the right times that then have the social proof from their network, and really being able to provide a connected experience that is real and feels like a human rather than the old days where it was like a little jingle will sell you. It doesn't work anymore. We need to get back to connecting as humans.
That's right. And I second you on that. We actually do need some kind of human touch to actually trust the product or the service. And Rachel, you're doing a wonderful job. Does it ever get overwhelming? How do you manage to get over such phases?
Well, as we're sitting here, I am in my house in St. Augustine, Florida. I am looking out and the palm trees are blowing in the wind. It is a gorgeous day. It's going to be 70 degrees. Overwhelmed happens, but then you walk outside, take a deep breath. I'm 5 blocks from the ocean. It doesn't get better than this.
Wow, yeah. So it doesn't. That's right. So everything's perfect. That's nice. And Rachel, you have a very cheerful personality. I really like that. So, how do you define success? What is your perfect idea of giving back to the society or the community?
I think for us, success is defined by how many people can we help each year, right? How many people with our nonprofit are we able to support? How many businesses are we able to help keep food on the table for their family, their community growing? All of that. It's so important. And it's been fantastic to be able to not only create an impact on both the nonprofit and the marketing agency and with all the other companies we work with, but really being able to then see the end impact. So we have clients who are now helping their clients get services that they didn't have before. It could be a mindset program, it could be coaching, it could be finding their dream home and real estate. And if we can help all of these businesses succeed, I feel like we've made the right impact.
That's really thoughtful. And So, Rachel, we have a whole new chapter in front of us. What are your plans for 2022?
Oh, 22. I think the first step is I want to start the year with grace. I know that we can't do it all. I know that I've been pushing like crazy to be part of everything everywhere. And I'm trying to take the grace to know that I can't do it all. And I do need some days off. We need some self care. We need all of those things. But how do we get the right pieces together where we can delegate those things that we absolutely love and we're passionate about, but how do we delegate them in the right way so we can grow that? And how do we make sure that not only are we growing the business, we're growing our clients' business, but we're able to step back and take a moment and be grateful for it.
That's right. That's some great advice, and I think more people need to, learn how important self care is, and how important it is to actually enjoy your journey. So great. And
Yeah.
Rachel, this is the last question for the podcast. Would you like to share any advice or any news with the audience?
I think the biggest key to success is the foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation for your business on the marketing side, on the business side, unfortunately, there's only so far you can go. You're going to be running in circles and here and here and here and here, and there's no way to bring that back together. I would start by building a solid foundation, something that will help you not only grow your business, but then you can show the foundation to the next person that you're bringing into your business so they can help grow it further. Typically, when people come in and you have a new hire or you have some way you want to grow your business or you have a partner, most companies don't have a brand guide or a here's how we talk about our products, here's what we do, here's who our ideal client is. And if you don't have that, then let's say I hire somebody tomorrow, we're speaking two different languages. And the way that I envision my product or my business or X, Y, and Z is going to be different than how they're interpreting it. So those foundational documents are going to help you not only get your business right today and give you something to optimize off of, but it's going to help you scale for the future.
That's right. And that's a perfect end to this podcast. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Rachel. And it's been amazing